The last job I ever had was about 5 years ago, and I was a server, literally waiting on people bringing out food and drinks. And at the time I was in community college and I was never able to save up a significant amount of money. But during that time, I started doing something on the side with about $500, and that led down to everything I've ever achieved since then, including building $1 million business and never having another job since. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what I did with that first $500 so you can follow along and hopefully achieve the same thing. So let's just get right into it, but first, make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment down below. The YouTube algorithm loves that, and subscribe to this channel if you are not already a subscriber. So the thing that I started doing around this time with that first $500 was flipping. Literally buying things at one price for cheap and selling them for more elsewhere. Buy low, sell high. You're probably pissed right now thinking, Matt, I just wanted to invest my $500 and retire and make millions of dollars off this passive investment that I just parked somewhere and retired at age 16. And that does not exist. The truth is that when you're at that stage, you're not looking for investments. You're looking for active things. You're looking for stuff that you can put time into and build a business and build an income. You need more income to be able to actually then later put that into investments when it's a more substantial amount of cash where the returns will actually mean something. For example, a 10% annual return on an investment is really good. Talking about a passive investment, something that you can just park your money and get paid cash flow off of it. 10% per year would be considered very, very, very good. That is not like a conservative, super easy to get return. That is a very good return. So if you take your cute little $500 and put that into there, you're getting $50 per year, which is freaking nothing. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't move the needle for anybody. It doesn't make sense to just put that $500 into an investment and start playing defense with that little $500 that you accumulated for the first time. It doesn't make sense because it won't add up to anything. And now you might be thinking, what about compound interest, right? Because that 500 turns into 550. Now it's interest on 550, so on and so on. It doesn't matter. It's too small. It's too small. And rather than switching your mentality to protect it, you'd be much better off just figuring out how to grow that money. You need to get a new income source to be feeding that pool more, so then you can put that money later when you have something that's just spitting off cash. You'd be much better off investing $500 every single month or $500 every single week when you have a more significant income stream, and then those passive investments can really start to grow into something substantial for the long term. So you need to understand there's a huge difference between investing and investing in yourself or investing in a business or doing something actively. And if you ask me, this is of course just my opinion, but you shouldn't be thinking about investing your first 100, your first 300, your first 500, your first 1,000, even your first 10,000. In my opinion, I just wouldn't even bother looking for those defensive, park your cash and get a little bit of cash flow. That is not what I would look for until you have something that is spitting off cash regularly that you can start parking into those places and building your long-term wealth through that. So what I did when I had that first $500 was, instead of defending it, I put it all on the line. I started risking that $500 and I started buying stuff that I knew I could sell for more. And in terms of business, this is probably the most low risk of any business model you could ever do if you only have a little bit of cash, because other business models, I talk a lot about starting brands on Amazon FBA, or look what I'm doing with YouTube and say, affiliate income, or all these other sources of income through online, right? They're all amazing, they can all work, but flipping is about as sure as you could possibly do. And if you only have that little amount of money, you might as well guaranteed level it up a little bit to the point where you have more cash that you can leverage into bigger risks for more rewards. And then once you get some bigger rewards, then put it into investments later. So when you have only that $500, go find something on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, that you can buy for $200 and sell for $300. Honestly, you don't even need $500 to start this. You could do it for going on Craigslist free, or you could go on, buy something with your first 50 or $100. Or on top of that, because I don't like when people tell me the excuse that they don't have money, is if you find an opportunity and you can figure it all out, somebody will give you money for that. Go tell your brother, your mom, your friend, oh my God, I can buy this thing for 200 bucks and sell it for 400 bucks. Will you give me that 200 bucks? I'll give you 50 or 100 bucks of the profit. And it's so guaranteed. And that's the mentality that you need to have when you only have a really, really little amount of capital. You need to think about how you can double it, triple it, quadruple it, keep rinse and repeat and growing that until you can do something else. So my very first flip was an iPhone. This was back whatever year the iPhone 5 was first coming out. That was when I first started flipping iPhones. It was a brand new one. Somebody had bought it on contract at like the subsidized 200 bucks or whatever, and they just did a quick flip, and I bought it for somewhere around 500 and flipped it for like 800 or something like that. Boom. 500 into 800. How many years would that take at 10%, right? So the difference, of course, is that I actively had to do that, and I actively had to put that money on the line. But clearly, it just makes more sense when you're dealing with such a little bit amount to start with. So I did that again and again and again and again and again and again. I was flipping phones all the time. I was meeting absolutely everybody, buying phones almost every single day, selling them on eBay. That was the first foundational thing I ever did that allowed me to work for myself and no longer have a job since. Even when I moved down to LA, that's all I really had going on at the time. I was in school, I transferred down here, but in terms of income, that's the only thing I had going on at that time was flipping phones. And I eventually got into other things. I'm into vintage watches and I started buying and selling watches. But the most important thing is that it taught me that I could make money outside of trading my time for a paycheck, right? And that lesson alone was what ultimately set me on this journey to start my own brands eventually, scaling brands, leveraging Amazon, all of that to the point where it was $1 million business. And that was all because of the seed I planted with flipping and proving to myself that I could make $1 outside of clocking in and clocking out. So even if you already have investments or you already have whatever, it doesn't even matter. I think absolutely everybody should go take 500 bucks, buy something, flip it, make a profit, and just think, wow, okay, I can actually make money on my own. There are other things, and that is the seed that you need to realize that all of these other things are possible too. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up, but it just started pouring rain, which is a rare sight in LA. So if you hear any noise in the background, that's what that is. So the downside of flipping is it's not scalable, and that's why I eventually moved on to something that was scalable outside of just trading, basically still trading time in a way, just doing it on my own terms. What I suggest you do is, if you only have that, is take that 500, turn it into 1,000. Take that 1,000, turn it into 5,000, right? Or even that 5,000 into 10,000. And then what you should do is invest. No, you shouldn't invest it yet. What you should then do is now you have the freedom to take another risk in business. And what I did was take a few $1,000s and start something that would turn into a substantial, big, scalable business. Rather than just, if I had played defense with that first $10,000, it'd be gone, it'd be a rounding error. It would just go to random living expenses and it wouldn't matter. I would much rather be where I am now, and now I'm starting to think about, well, how can I park money for long-term investments? I'm thinking about that now for the first time. That might be horrible advice. Maybe that's a mistake that I've made, but that's the way that I see it, is I'd rather grow income, take risks, build businesses, and then worry about investing it for long-term once I figure out that income source, rather than just have this little bit amount of cash and try to figure out how to invest it. So I took those leveling up flips and I took a bigger risk, and I sent $800 in a wire to a different country to source my first product for Amazon, launching it under my own brand. Quickly reordered another $1,500 or so of product, and that product alone went on to be something that I sold every single month for years since. So think about the ROI on an investment like that where you start a business. It's not unbelievable to take $10,000 and start a business that starts making $10,000 a month. I mean, that's obviously a huge success story, but you're not gonna see returns like that in something that is just a passive investment. Obviously, passive investing has its place. Again, long-term wealth, that is definitely stuff I need to dig deeper and start doing, but it's not the right way to be thinking when you're at those ground level stages. So think about building more income so that you can take more risks instead of just having this little bit of amount of cash and thinking about where to put it. Take risks, build income, invest when you have income continuously coming out in and it's actually worthwhile to do so. So that principle, which I didn't know at the time, so hopefully you can extract this from my learnings as I went and apply it to you in an earlier stage. But that is what I did. That is what ultimately freed me of having a job. So hopefully you got some value in this video. If you are at those early stages, definitely do hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, absolutely anything, questions, whatever you want. It helps feed the YouTube algorithm, so hopefully this video gets pushed out. And if this video did finally get pushed out, definitely subscribe if you're new to this channel. And after you subscribe, you can also go back and check all the previous videos. There is a lot of great information there, as well as staying tuned for the future ones. Hit that bell also, that way you'll be notified when I post. Otherwise YouTube may not even let you know. So definitely bell, subscribe, thumbs up, leave comments down below. I would love to hear from you. On top of that, there are other links in the description that you are welcome to check out. I have my Zero to Brand program, which is A to Z, how to get started building a brand to leverage Amazon FBA. I also have a free Facebook group as well that you can check in the description. Whether or not you're ready for the other one, that's totally fine, but get into the free group. You might as well. Lots of great information and community and discussion in there. So overall, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.